Every now and then, you can feel it that moment, when the air in the stadium changes. When the cheers get louder, the sideline energy spikes, and you know you're watching the beginning of something bigger than just a good game. I felt that on Friday night. This wasn't just another preseason matchup, and it wasn't just another rookie getting some reps. No, this was the kind of performance that makes veterans take notice, makes analysts sit up straighter, and makes fans start thinking, wait, are we watching the start of a new era? And the name everyone's talking about is Sanders. Let me tell you. Jerry Jeudy lit up the conversation this week, and it wasn't because of anything he did on the field. It was because of what he said afterward. He didn't just compliment Sanders, he dropped some of the highest praise you could give a young quarterback. He talked about what happens when raw talent meets opportunity. When a rookie walks into a big moment and doesn't just survive, but thrives. Jeudy was smiling, clearly impressed, and told reporters he couldn't wait to watch Sanders play more. Then, without hesitation, he said Sanders has a great future ahead of him. Now, I've heard veterans give props before, but this hit different. This wasn't a casual yeah, the kid played well. This was a wide receiver who's been in the league long enough to know elite talent when he sees it, saying, this kid is for real. But here's the thing, Jeudy didn't stop there. He went further, telling the world that Sanders has one of the best arms in the league. Let that sink in. A rookie quarterback, not even through his first full NFL season, being put in the same breath as the best passers in football. Jeudy didn't just call his throws good, he said they were immaculate. Passes that didn't just arrive on target, but hit with the kind of perfect placement and touch that make a receiver's job feel effortless. As Jeudy put it, Sanders is a baller with one of the top arms for sure. And it wasn't just about what we all saw under the bright lights. Jeudy pulled the curtain back on the work behind the scenes, the stuff that never makes the highlight reels. He talked about how Sanders has been drilling his mechanics, getting sharper with every practice, and digging deep into the playbook like a veteran. This isn't a guy coasting on talent. This is a young quarterback who's obsessed with getting better, who knows that mastering the smallest details now will make all the difference later. That kind of work ethic matters. It changes how a team sees you. When a rookie shows that kind of dedication, teammates start trusting him faster. Coaches start designing plays for him, and fans start believing they're seeing the future unfold right in front of them. Jeudy wasn't done yet. He describes Sanders' pocket presence, how calm he looks under pressure, how he can make precise throws without forcing the ball, and how he protects possession without killing the offense's momentum. He made it clear that Sanders doesn't just play the position, he owns it. And coming from a player of Jeudy's caliber, that's more than just praise, it's validation. What makes this even more powerful is that Jeudy's belief in Sanders didn't just show up after Friday's game. It's been there from the beginning. Through OTA's minicamp and every training session in between, Jeudy has watched Sanders grow, refine his skills, and earn his place. He saw the grind, the hours put in when nobody was watching, and he said, from day one, that when the opportunity came, Sanders would seize it. And then came Friday night, and he did exactly that. Sanders was micced up, and from the very first moments, you could hear the confidence. He wasn't timid, he wasn't wide-eyed, and he wasn't acting like a rookie, still figuring things out. Instead, he was pumping up his teammates, saying, we're going to do it first, and let's be the hammer, not the nail. That's leadership, the kind of voice that sets a tone before the first snap is even taken. You could see it in the way the offense responded to him. The chemistry was natural, the trust was mutual. Sanders didn't have to prove he belonged in that huddle. The team already knew. And that comfort, that connection, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens when a quarterback earns it through consistency, through preparation, and through showing up when it counts. So when Jerry Jeudy speaks this highly, you have to pay attention. This isn't hype for the sake of hype. This is a respected veteran telling the league, watch out, this kid's different. And from what I've seen, I can't argue with him. Because when you put together elite arm talent, relentless work ethic, natural leadership, and the respect of the locker room, that's when special things happen. And right now, Sanders has all of it. The sky, that's not the limit. For Sanders, it's just the first step. I've been around this game long enough to know that you can't fake respect in an NFL locker room. You can't buy it, you can't talk your way into it, and you definitely can't get it from just one good practice. Respect is earned over time, by grinding when nobody's looking, by stepping up when the lights are bright, and by showing the guys around you that you're not just here to collect a paycheck, you're here to win. And that's why what's happening with Sanders right now is different. This isn't a rookie getting a couple of polite nods because, hey, the kid had a good rep in practice. No, this is something deeper. This is a young quarterback walking into one of the most competitive, pressure-packed situations in football, and immediately leaving his fingerprints on everything. The other day, after most of the team had already wrapped up and started heading toward the locker room, I look over and see Sanders still out on the field. And who's out there with him? None other than Myles Garrett. Yeah, that Myles Garrett, the freak of nature, the defensive nightmare. The guy who makes opposing quarterbacks think twice about holding the ball for more than 2 seconds. And here's the thing, this wasn't some staged look good for the cameras moment. There weren't cameras. There weren't reporters crowding around. This was just two pros working, pushing, testing each other. Sanders wasn't out there just to toss a ball around. He was studying, learning, adjusting, building a chemistry that can't be scripted. And if you've ever played this game at any level, you know when you've got a rookie quarterback putting in that kind of work with a star defensive player. That says everything about who he is and where he's going. Moments like that tell me more than any preseason stat line. That's not just a guy trying to make the roster. That's a guy quietly telling the team, I'm here to be a part of this. And the respect, oh, it's flowing both ways. You could see it in the way Myles interacted with him. It wasn't the condescending, good job, rookie pat on the helmet. It was two competitors trading knowledge. It was mutual. That's rare now. It's not just the players feeling this. The national voices are starting to crank up the volume. Stephen A. Smith, who, love him or hate him, has a knack for smelling the real deal, went out of his way to praise Sanders' performance. Said his debut wasn't just solid, it was a showcase of talent and mentality. And you know Stephen A., he's not shy about calling out a pretender. So when he says Sanders has starter DNA, that carries weight. Stephen A.'s been vocal. Give him more reps. Let him get in there with the first team. Test him against top competition and see how high he can climb. And honestly, I think Stephen A. is just saying what a lot of people inside the Browns building already feel, but aren't ready to admit out loud, that this kid might be further along than anyone expected. Then you've got Adam Schefter weighing in. Now, Schefter isn't about hype. He's about information. And even he is saying the buzz around Sanders is real. But Schefter's also been around enough quarterback battles to know how this works. He's saying the Browns want one more look this Friday. They want confirmation. They want proof under the lights, against live fire, that Sanders' first showing wasn't a fluke. And if he does it again, man, I'll say it right now, we might be looking at a full-on quarterback controversy in Cleveland. Dan Orlovsky, the QB guy himself, was glowing when he broke down the tape. He pointed out the way Sanders moves in the pocket, not panicked, but purposeful. The way he scans the field, sees things developing, and adjusts before the defense even knows they've been read, that's advanced. That's the stuff veteran quarterbacks struggle with. Dan called it undeniable football IQ, and I agree. And Dan wasn't just tossing out compliments. He went straight at Kevin Stefanski, telling him, give this man the snaps he's earned. Not maybe in a few weeks, not let's ease him in. Now, because Dan sees what a lot of us see, that if you give Sanders consistent time with the first team, not only will he grow, but the Browns might just discover they've got a game changer on their hands. Of course, Dan also pointed out the little rookie habits that try to make something out of nothing. Plays that can burn you in the NFL. But here's what makes me confident. Sanders is already learning from them. He's adjusting in real time. That's rare. And it's not just the analysts and media personalities lining up. Jerry Jeudy, who knows a thing or two about catching passes from elite quarterbacks, has been one of Sanders' loudest supporters. Talked about his mechanics, his command, the way he steps into a huddle and owns it. That's not something you can coach. That's presence. So here we are, heading into Friday night's preseason game. And I can't remember the last time a Browns preseason game had this kind of electricity. It's not about the scoreboard, it's about the story. And right now, the story is a young quarterback who's making believers out of teammates, media, and fans alike. This is his moment, and the hype. The hype is real. Sanders has done everything you could ask of a young QB fighting for a spot. Now he's got a chance to show he's not just part of the team, he's the future of it. So I'll ask you, is Sanders ready to grab that starting role right now, or does he still need time? Do you stand with Stephen A., Schefter, Orlovsky, and Jeudy in believing he's already flashing star potential? Or do you think the Browns should pump the brakes? Either way, I think we're all about to find out, because Friday night might just be the start of something special. Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And hey, if you've been riding with me through this journey, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update on Sanders' rise. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss where this story goes next.